Well, I promised to start this video at this bed, hoping to show it to you in its perceived glory, but as is typical with a lot of things in life, it doesn't quite meet the vision. These verbena, viburnum, they produce like a couple of flowers, not many. I think next year will be much better. The cineraria are starting to fade, which is exactly what I expected. End of May, that's great, they lasted this long. The impatiens are taking over, as is the purple heart. This is an experiment this year. I've never put these in any flower bed, and I just admired them on Beach Avenue last summer and planted them here, hoping that they would cascade over the wall over the summer and then come back next year. We'll see. Then there's some lungwort that's doing okay, some huaycara that are doing nicely, and also the fuchsias that I planted in the middle of the bed are starting to fill out and take over from the cinerarias, which will be gone probably next week, and I'll replace them with something for shade, probably begonias. Maybe I'll get 5 big begonias to replace the cineraria and film again for you, okay, as things develop. Well, we'll see how interesting it is. Okay, so let's get to today's video, which is all about breaking rules. Like when do you not respect the rules of things, and when do you decide that, you know, you're going to ignore them? So that's what we're going to discuss next. Well, welcome back to my favorite rose bed. 35 roses of a wide variety, including floribunda, tea roses, bush roses, climbing roses. I even have one my sister introduced me to this weekend, right here. Very sharp, very bushy. I'll look up the name. She told me, I forgot, typical. Anyway, my sister was in town until yesterday, and along with many wonderful things, she brought me sheep shears. I didn't know this was a thing, but apparently sheep shears are a thing, and they're used for this sort of thing. Now, I'll be back for another look at the rose garden next week, because it's in full bud right now, but not blooming. First wave is coming next week, and it's going to be best ever, I think. Knock on wood. But meanwhile, it's way overdue time to cut down the daffodils that bloomed a month ago. I've just been busy pulling weeds. But my sister says, and I believe her, that sheep shears are going to be the thing for cutting down daffodils. So I thought we would try that together and see how it goes. Okay, here we go. Oh, very nice. Here we go. Ooh. Spring loaded, don't you know? Okay. Now, you know, I was thinking, all I need is little Bo Peep and her sheep
for a walk,
to come through, and I can, you know, clip them, snip them, give them a nice haircut, see how they're doing. Hi, sheep. Oh, such nice sheep. Okay. Well, the verdict is, I love the sound. I'm not sure this is more effective than my secateurs, probably. I mean, it's a lot longer a blade. Secateurs are only about that long. So I'm able to decimate these old daffodils much quicker. And I'll finish up the other daffodils in this bed after this. But what I also wanted to show you was my bottle of 3-in-1, which I've written a big 3 on here. not to get it mixed up with Killex. So I use two different sprays here in the garden. One is 3-in-1, which is sold at Home Depot and is a fantastic mix, especially for roses. The problem is that the bottle that the 3-in-1 comes in easily gets clogged. You need to like rinse the tube with water every single time you use it. And I guess I forgot, and it got clogged. So I've transferred it into this, which I also got at Home Depot. And so when you are spraying 3-in-1 on roses, do it when it's not really hot, and do it when it's not about to rain. Soak the thing. Let's just see what we got here. Get the stems right to the bottom. And at this time of year, when roses are super aphid prone, and they're starting to get rust and spots like this, do it every 2 weeks, okay? So you're soaking it top to bottom so it's almost dripping. And do it when nobody's around, and do it when you're upwind, so you don't breathe it in. Hold your breath a lot. Probably should be wearing a respirator. But I just avoid it and leave immediately when I'm done spraying the roses with 3-in-1. The other product I use a lot is called Killex, and Killex I use for spraying weeds, especially Creeping Charlie and buttercups in the lawn. Okay, so Killex in the lawn, 3-in-1 on the roses, and anything else that's prone to fungus or aphids. Very good stuff. So my sister, who's named Maya, lives in New York. She came to visit from New York. She keeps a place upstate and grows all sorts of plants there. She's really into plants just like me. And in fact, her knowledge is probably greater than mine. Anyway, we have different areas of strength. But years ago, our mom, who was a great plant lover, gave her special iris and special hellebores. And this weekend, she brought the children of those hellebores and irises in her shoes, in Ziploc bags, on the plane, past the ice agents. Very brave, or foolish, I'm not sure. But anyway, she successfully made it here, and together we planted them. I didn't want to be that guy who videotapes his family while they're on vacation. So we just did it in private, and I'll show you the results. They're not too exciting, but for me they are. Here's the iris that she brought with her in her shoes, and I'll show you what the blooms look like. I think I still have a picture of that. And then way over here, baby hellebores. Now, I have never, ever been able to propagate hellebores, but these are them right here. Doesn't look like much, but hellebores do really well in this bed in the shade, so I expect to see them next spring. Our mom grew many exotic plants down in Mexico. She lived there for more than 30 years. And her dad, Henry Teucher, was a renowned botanist and curator and founder of the Botanical Gardens in Montreal. He was sent on plant collecting trips down to Central and South America numerous times in the 50s, and ended up having a whole genus of orchids named after him, more than 10 plants I think, and also some iris. And about 10 years ago, when I was taking care of this property, the Montreal Botanical Gardens sent a sample of a Henry Teuscher iris to Victoria, British Columbia for an iris exhibition. They contacted me and said, would you like to take the iris after the exhibition's complete? So of course I accepted and planted them right here, and here they are. They've spread, they're doing really well. Unfortunately, the people who are taking care of this property now decided to knock down the weeds by burying the irises below their rhizomes, and so they haven't bloomed this spring. There's one blossom here that's finished. So I decided this morning I'm going to liberate them and bring them with me to Toronto over the weekend and pass them on to my sister, who I don't even talk to anymore, but she would appreciate it. So here we go. We're gonna dig up a couple irises now. There's a cleaner over there who's eyeballing me, wondering what the heck I'm doing. But I got 3 rhizomes, 3 baby rhizomes right here. There's 1, there's 2, and there's 3. 1, 2, 3, nice and shaped. And we're gonna put them in this Ziploc, and we're gonna get the heck out of here. Okay. Grab and run.